Greetings from the right coast. This is Mad Shad, and I'm making a car video. Because, we drive cars. What are we going to talk about today? Race. So, backstory. Little known facts. I grew up in the projects. I did. I was the scared white boy in a black neighborhood. This was back in the 80s. So I spent 15 of my years in straight up gangbanger, drugs and rats and roaches in Tennessee. And once you live in a projects, Section 8 housing and all that, it's interesting. And I grew up there from when I was like 5 years old and on to 15, 16 when I started getting put in reform school. I've always been a rebellious little shit, definitely. So, growing up, I faced racism every day. Every day. I did not leave my house on Martin Luther King Day. Our windows got busted out on Martin Luther King Day. If I wasn't running, I was fighting. And I was running and fighting. So, at the end of every school year, elementary and up, I got my ass whooped by a bunch of black folks. They just grabbed me and started whooping my ass. Pop, 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 pop. Throwing me up in the air like a rag doll. Yeah. Yeah, and it was because I was white. Anytime I made a friend, black friend, that group, his peers, his friends, his family, they would gather around him and go, yo, you can't be friends with him. You can't be friends with that cracker, ass cracker. So, a lot of my friends, through peer pressure, would just turn on me and just start whooping my ass. Yeah. Racism. And I was poor. Dirt fucking poor. Mom grew up on food stamps, Social Security, disability. I had a brother and a sister and a mom and a part-time father from time to time. Yeah, that's right. Hell yeah. So I went to the schools the same way. At least in school I got to see other white people. Not that it really mattered to me. I was just like, why is there such hatred towards me? As a kid, you don't understand this crap. You just don't understand it. And, being beaten down, literally and figuratively, and with words. I've been berated and belittled, slapped and spit on, things thrown at me, and all kinds of shit, just for being white. Yeah, me. And I'm a nice guy. Well, I was a nice kid. Until I got older. Then, I got me a mohawk and a skateboard and started breaking into shit and breaking things and doing things that were stupid. And yeah, I got in trouble for it. Detention and reform school and, just all kinds of stuff, It wasn't it was hard. It was a hard life. Looking back on it, it was, that's what I was dealt with. That's what I was dealt with. How I grew up, how I was raised. And I was always rebellious as fuck. You would be whooping my ass and I would still be talking shit. As you're whooping my ass. I never gave in. Never gave in. And so that translated into my angst, my youthful angst, adolescent angst. And yeah, I did shit, man. I busted out windows, I broke into things, and I stole things, I got in fights with weapons, because I was a skinny ass little white boy. I mean, skinny as fuck. Skinny as fuck. I mean, you could just slap me and I'd go flying. So going from that setting, from till I was 15, moved into another area, away from the city, into the country. Oh, it's going to be better, they say. It's not so much racism here, they say. Yeah, there was more. There was a lot more. Because I went from the inner city to rural USA in Tennessee, and now there's two kinds of racism: black and white, and they all hated me. Me, junior high school, being in the ninth grade in high school. It's like, why? Why is everybody hating on me? I'm not doing anything. I'm not saying anything. Well, if you said something to me, I'd cuss you out and read you for filth. But I had white folks telling me I was an in lover, and because I actually had some black girlfriends, yeah. So. And then I had the black folks that were just like, you just a cracker-ass cracker. You're one of those, triple K'ers. I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. Leave me alone. Leave me the fuck alone. So, got in trouble. Hurt somebody really bad in school. Got thrown in reform school. And I spent a good 6 months there. And that was all racism too. Majority of the kids in there were black. They hated me. But I was a little bit older, a little bit tougher, and a little bit faster, and I could fight. And I did. Finally, I got out, and I got put in what they call a therapeutic foster home. Got out about the end of my 16th year, and I spent 17 and 18 in this therapeutic foster home in a very, very small town, even smaller town. Graduating class of 13. By that time, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was so cool. I was Cool Hand Luke, yo. Whatever. And I could talk to anybody. And I was able to I had these social skills, this way about me where you would come at me aggressively. I'd be like, whatever, man. No, it ain't gonna happen. Nope. Not doing this, bro. Nope. And it worked. It worked. And I kept my mouth shut. I didn't talk about folks. That's when I learned that gossip and talking bad about folks is bad karma. Bad karma for me and them. And yeah, I still faced racism. Of course, at this time, I was a little bit older. I had joined the football team. And I earned my respect. Everybody thinks, oh, look at this little skinny little white boy. I think I was 6 foot, 165 pounds. I was in the gym. I was doing stuff. I was working out, doing all this mess, and, doing football. And so, yeah, there would be some rivalries, there would be some testing of the waters, if you will. And, they found out real quick, I'm nothing to play with. My number was 66. And they called me Devil, because I was just vicious and just, that's how I attacked on the football field. It's great to watch. Of course, I wasn't that heavy, I wasn't that fast. I probably ran a 5.2 in a 40, so I did defensive and offensive line. That's it. They liked me on defensive end because I was kind of light and shifty. Thank you for my my upbringing there in the ghetto. You know, having to run and evade guys that were 6'3", 250 pounds, and they're 13. Yeah, that's what I had to face, and I was 5'11" and weighed a buck, maybe $105. So I mean, you know, that also has something to do with being, you know, a slight human as well. You know, bigger always tends to intimidate little and bully. So, but yeah, growing up that way, I earned respect. I did, especially when the biggest guy, they called him Refrigerator, big black guy, and he was known for destroying little white boys. You know, they would go, you know, one-on-one, and you just, and yeah, that's what he did, and he was a big monster of a man, 300-something pounds, you know, fat and muscle, and they called him the Refrigerator, and obviously, and me, I mean, he was huge, he was like, you know, way taller than me, way bigger. And I remember we were going at it, you know, we're head to head, looking at each other, and as soon as the whistle blew, you know, I grabbed him, and I had been taught the technique, so I grabbed him, I put my thumbs underneath his breastplate, and lifted up and put my nose right in his letters and pushed, and it went like this, boom, boom, and the whole place was like, whoa, you took out the Refrigerator. Never been done before, I guess. I did. And it was just technique and tenacity. But after that, I was friends with everybody. Everybody's like, yo, whatever, man, I got your back. You know, yo, you're cool. You're a cool white dude. Yeah, I know. When's your sister coming around? But no, I mean, it was cool. It was very cool. Should I tell this? Should I say this? I was so cool hand loop that I had an opportunity to hook up with a cheerleader. You know, football player, cheerleader, lower football player, lower cheerleader. You know, you know, it's a hierarchy. You know, you've got your stars, your superstars, and all those popular folks. And me, I was just like cool, you know, and I didn't say nothing. And so I hooked up with this cheerleader. And she's like, please don't say nothing. Please don't say nothing. I'm like, okay, I won't say nothing. And I didn't. I'm just like, yeah, right on. Later on, throughout the course of that year, I would go to circles. You know, you'd go hang out, you'd go park, and everybody knew everybody, and everybody knew where everybody was, and they would send word, hey, why don't you come over here? Why don't you come over there? You know, that's you know, whatever. And so, one by one, the cheerleaders came to me. Hey, I know you slept with so-and-so. Shh, don't tell nobody. One by one, I slept with them all. So, I wouldn't say, and I didn't say nothing, but they did. They did. They talked amongst themselves like chatty little bitches. Just... And if anybody ever asked me, I'd be like, no, man, I don't know what you're talking about. Come on, look at me. I'm nobody. I'm the lowest. I work on defensive end. All right, I'm not a freaking superstar, you know. But I got to sleep with all the superstar girlfriends. So, hey, that was cool. Yeah. Just, and they were white and black, all of them. So I mean, it was a mixed kind of thing, but it was a little different going through that. It was a little bit more, what would you say, accepting. Hi, how you doing? Yep. So, get in your car, get in your car, there you go. Nope, he's not getting in the car. He's in the car. We can talk again. Yeah, so, that was my grand accomplishment in high school. Mind you, our football team, we were one of the worst football teams in the league. I think we won one game out of all the games. Our it was 0-23 or something. we always beat one team. There's always one team that we could beat. They were worse than us. But I mean, it was fun. It was fun. It was great. Great experience. And learning all these coping mechanisms, these hierarchies, racism, race fascism, whatever. You know, it kind of broke it all down. Fast forward, I go back home finally to my mom after because I wanted to graduate on my own. And I had already had a job. I had 2 jobs. I was working at a sawmill and everything else. And I was like, I'm out of here, man. Y'all can't hold me back. Y'all just can't hold me anymore. I cannot be contained. I will be unleashed upon the world, and I'm working. I've got a car. Yeah, I'm done. I'm out. And so 17, 18, I get out of there about 18. Yeah, 18. I go home, and I go to that school, and it's a little bit bigger school. It's a little bit more, let's say, Central High School, a little bit bigger town, a lot more black folks, and a lot more white folks. But it was cool. Everybody kind of knew me. I didn't play any sports. I was done with sports because I only had like a year to graduate or something. And I only needed a half credit to graduate. So all I had to do was okay, I'll take. They's like, well, you got to take something. I was like, okay, I'll take economics, and I'll leave at 11:15. And I did that for about 6 months. And then everything changed, and they're like, because I would go to my little class. It was like study hall, another study hall, and then home economics. Economics. Yeah, economics. You had to have an economics class to graduate. I don't know, whatever. So I did that, and that was the half credit I needed. And I was out by 11:15. I was working, doing my thing. And so 6 months later, they're like, no. You got to you got to go the whole day now. I was like, I only need a half a credit. They're like, yeah, we know. But you have to work. You have to go. You have to be in school and be there for a whole day. I'm like, this is bullshit. But, I wanted to graduate. And I wanted to join the Marine Corps. That was my thing. I'd already tried to join the Army, and my background would not allow me to do. The Marine Corps was a little more lenient, if you will. But I digress on that. I just didn't tell them about my record. That was another thing. Yeah, they wasn't obligated to check if you didn't tell them. So I'm doing my thing, and they tell me this. I'm like, well, hell, I gotta do this, huh? I was like, okay, well, go ahead and put that home economics in early in the morning, keep it right there, and then throughout the day, they're like, well, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to learn. It's like, I don't want to learn. I want to graduate and get the hell out of here. You're not holding me back. You're not holding me. You're not teaching me anything. You're not teaching me anything I don't already know. You're young. I don't need social economics. I don't need home ec. I don't need English. I've already done all that stuff. I'm good. I'm good. Let me go. Let me go. This is just a fluke because I changed classes or changed schools in the middle of a year or whatever, and is bullshit. So they're like, okay, fine. But they made me take, whole U.S. civics and home economics and all this crap, and English and all this. And so for the morning portion of it, I did my home economics. I studied hard and I passed that test. I did all the work in it. The rest of the classes, I just slept. I was the one that was known as a sleeper. And I just checked out. I would just... Excuse me, Shad. Are you going to participate today? No. Go back to bed. Go back to sleep. Every now and then the teacher would go, you need to do something. I need you to be productive in my class. I'm like, no, I'm not going to be. And if you force me, I'm going to make a farce out of it. And they did. They made me be a farce. I get on the chalkboard and present this answer. How many licks does it take to, whatever. What does a frog butts taste like? I would just write off the wall stupid, crazy stuff, and they were just like, it's no use, Test, I would, if I had to take a test, which I never really, after about the first test or so, I just like A. I don't care. I don't care if I fit. I told the teacher, I said, look, it doesn't really matter what I do. I don't need this class. I don't need you. I'm sorry. I'm stuck here. This is the way it is. So, that was me in my graduation. I graduated and boom, I was off to the Marine Corps. Yeah. That's what's up. Well, I went back home, took a year off, and I trained. I ran 3 miles on pavement, barefooted, just to toughen my body. I had a punching bag. I did all the push-ups and the setups and the pull-ups, in record timing, and I went, boom, did my thing. And so that portion of the school, I never really seen or felt racism. Getting into the Marine Corps, it was different. It was different. It was more like everybody. It was more like people from the same group and people and type would hang out with each other in their own little cliques, but they were forced to interact and become a cohesive unit. So you had Philippines, you had the Filipinos, you had the black folks, you got the Mexicans, you got the Chinese, the Japanese, the white people, and you've got different kinds of white people, and you got different kinds of black folks, and you're like, wow, there's different kinds of black folks. There's different kinds of Puerto Ricans. There's different kinds of Mexicans. There's different kinds. I mean, it was different, and we all become friends because you're spending years with each other. Training and fighting and drinking and having fun together. And it was nothing to just say, hey, I'm going home to New Jersey. Y'all want to come? Boom. We all would take off and road trip and hang out, see how the other half lives. All over the country. It was great. It was great. It was a great melting pot. And so there was no racism. There really wasn't. It was great to see. It was great to feel. And if there was any kind of racism, it was squashed. It was like, shut the fuck up. You're a fucking Marine. There's no race here. Yeah. So, whatever. And it was, there was no, the rank structure too. It was all mixed. Totally mixed. Now, I will have to say that the majority of the officers were white. The majority. A lot of them were actually kind of Puerto Rican. There were some Puerto Ricans in there. There were some other ones, but it was all in all, it was a very diverse group from all over the world, all over the country. all walks of life in different entities. You know, I mean, we had a guy in there who was from Mongolia. We called his ass Khan. You know, I mean, and that was the thing and we would just rag on each other. We would just throw major insults at each other about their fucking race and you fucking bean eater and you fucking schnitzel eater and man, it was just great. It was great. And you know, if there was some fighting going on, you're like, man, fuck you. You know, we might let them fight it out. You know, or just, you know, hey, break it up. Come on, calm down. But we worked it out. We worked it out. So what I'm seeing here today, it's forcing people to be racist. It is forcing people to be racist. I had a good saying, is my race is the human race, what's yours? And I like that. I really do. I really do. You know, we are still Homo sapien. You know, regardless of our slight little differences. Really. You know, that DNA marker that you know gives me this color of my skin is very, very slight. Very, very slight. And yeah, there are, you know, things, markers that, you know, certain kind of people are more predisposed to doing certain kind of things, you know, and they're better at this than that, you know. Yes, that's true. But we all have that same opportunity to better ourselves, to become a better human. That's what I'm preaching here. That's what I want. That's what I thought was happening. And it's not. What we're getting is division. Okay? We are getting division, and they're using race against it. They're starting with our kids. With our kids. When I was in school, it wasn't like that. It was like just no. It's not. It was more about, you know, patriotism and that was the thing is you have to be patriotic. You got to know your patriotic history, and you got to know that this is what we and we're fighting against what would stop that, i.e., communism. So communism, socialism. And we learned that communism and socialism does not work. It is bad for everyone. No, actually, it's really good for the elite people. So, and you see all these young kids, these woke kids, young woke kids, you know, and you know, they got that young angst. They want to be rebellious. They want to have a cause. They want to have purpose, you know. And that's what they're doing, is they're bringing them up from little kids, your little kids, and bringing them up into that young adult stage where their mind is still kind of warped and still trying to figure shit out, you know. And they're turning them into fucking idiots. Hateful idiots. We can't have that. We cannot have that. You know, we just can't. I mean, you know what I found today? I went to a thrift store and got me some t-shirts. I found a Wu-Tang ODB t-shirt. He's my favorite. Yeah. Oh, dirty bastard, baby. Yeah, and I'm going to wear that shirt proudly. So all this bullshit about this cultural, what's it called? Cultural appropriation? Fuck you. This is America. We're all about cultural appropriation. Pizza. You know what pizza is? Yeah. Comes from Italy. Yeah. You know what the original pizza... Our pizza, our version of pizza, and Italy's version of pizza is totally different. I went to Italy. I went to Naples, Italy. And I ordered a pizza. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. They just, you know... Oh, you want a pizza? Okay, boom. They brought this thing out. It was the first time I ever seen it. It was flat bread. Kind of crispy. Had some cheese on it. Browned. It had whole things of mozzarella, like a big round thing of mozzarella. Then it had tomatoes, and then it had parsley. And then all, you know, I'm like, what the fuck is this? I mean, I actually said, what the fuck is this? It's a margarita pizza. Oh, it's made with margaritas? No, it's that's the name of it. It was quite good. I like them now. Now we have a lot of that. Now you can get a margarita pizza from your store. You can do that. I couldn't before in my time, you know, as a kid, growing up. So it was nice. I get to go across the world and seeing countries where it's all, what do you call that? I forget what it's called. It's a very indigenous race kind of people. Like all the people there are Italians, all the people there are Jamaican, all the people there are Russian, you know, Japanese, you know. So when we come over there, they're like, what are you, you know? And you get to learn how they talk and how they feel about things. And it's kind of strange, you know, because they don't have that diversity that the melting pot of the United States of America is. Give me your tired, your poor, and your huddled masses, you know. And we are the melting pot. We are the great experiment of the world. That's how we got our start. People got tired of being oppressed religiously and everything else, you know, and they came over here to have a new life. That's how this country got started. And our forefathers thought about it for a minute and said, okay, let's do this whole thing here. Let's we the people, Bill of Rights. Yeah. All men are created equal. All men, all women, all of us. Everybody. You know? All created equal. So, I mean, I take that to heart. I really do. I really seriously do. You know? I fear no man. Yet, I love mankind. So I'm going to do whatever I can to help anyone. Regardless of race, color, creed, whatever, you know. If I see somebody dying on the street, I'm probably going to help them. And I have. So, you know, that's whatever. I don't give a fuck if they're black, Asian, Puerto Rican, Spanish, you know. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. And I don't care that I'm white. It's a formality. It really is. I mean, shit, man. I grew up black. I did. I grew up black. I should. And yeah, there was a time when I was one of those kids, you know. Yeah, motherfucker, shit. Yeah, nigga. Yeah, bro. Yeah. What's up, son? Yeah, son. Yeah, that was me. I did that. I did that. So, yeah. I went through all the phases. And then I had the mohawk. You know. Shit, I mean, I'm still a rebel at heart. I still got my long hair, you know, whatever. So, it's that rebellious tick I like. I like that, you know. I can't get away from that. So, hey, how you doing? Yeah. I'm at a barber shop. Somebody I know is getting their hair done. So, just chilling. They're getting their hair done. Getting their hair did and their nails did. And I'm just chilling with you guys. Making a car video about racism. I wonder if this makes it. I wonder if YouTube pops this out here. I don't know. Look at me chicken heading. That used to be one of my favorite songs. I came from Tennessee, so you know, some of my rap influences. I had a lot of rap influence. I still have the music to this day, and remember Project Pat, you know, boop boop chicken, boop boop chicken head, you know. I know all the words, man. I know all the words. I know them all. You know, most of the Wu-Tang, I know them all. I mean, just some of that shit just flows though. I mean, you know. So yeah, I mean, Memphis Dinner Thieves, and you know, I mean, all those guys, man. You know, 3-6 Mafia. Yeah, that was. I mean, coming out, I was like, whoa, what is this? You know, Player Fly and all that gangster stuff, and I loved it. And I wasn't gangster or anything. I didn't want to be a gangster. I didn't want to have any part of that. I just knew that was bad. But I liked the music, and I like enjoying that culture, and I grew up in that fucking culture. So yeah, I'm gonna go listen to some shit that I'm familiar with that talks about where I came from. Is that cultural appropriation? Fuck you. No, it's not. That's just me enjoying something. I also enjoy Japanese music. You know, the Yoshida brothers, man. You ever hear of those guys? Oh, they're great. You know, I mean, whatever. You know, I like different kinds of music. You know, I like pants. I like shirts. I like hats. I like, you know, glasses. You know, I drink funny drinks sometimes from different countries. I eat different kind of foods from different fucking countries. You know, I love my pho. I love my fermented fish head soup. You know, is that cultural appropriation? No, that is great. You know, I go to you know, get some Chinese food. There's a Jamaican jerk chicken place up here that is fucking fire, honey. Let me tell you, bam, that shit will set you up, and you'll be good. You'll be like, damn. Yeah, it will revive your senses. It will awaken your soul, and you'll be like, great. You'll be walking out of there talking fucking Jamaican. Yeah, man, everything's airy, you know? Because it will be, you know? Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Get to learn everything. I love culture. I love learning different shit. I know so much stupid shit about different fucking cultures, it's just not even funny. You know? I learned in Japan. Don't eat with your hands. Don't look at people when you talk to them. Look away, use the utensils, the chopsticks, yeah, you know, things like that. You know? I learned that if you want to pick up chicks in Japan, you have to baby talk them. Oh, hi, baby, you look so cute. You know? Not like playa, like, hey, let me holla at you. No, it's you gotta baby talk them. But, I mean, it's just stupid shit like that you learn by going to these different places, to these different cultures. And just jump right in, you know. And I've felt that kind of animosity towards me in certain areas. I remember I went to the Canary Islands, and what I like to do is I like to get lost. When I would go overseas, I would get lost. Seriously, I was just like on my own. Boom. Sometimes I'd have a little backpack, sometimes nothing. Just a wad full of cash. That's it. No weapons, no nothing. Just me in a strange land, stranger in a strange land, trekking it out. You know, hey, paisan, hey, you know, got some place to go. You know, get a freaking, you know, taxi cab. Hold on for dear life and hope that you make it. You don't fall off the fucking cliff doing 90 miles an hour. So those guys are crazy. But just getting lost and just getting stuck somewhere. And you're like, wow, this is great. And you get to meet people. People will actually come forward and go, hey, how you doing? Hey, come, let's eat. You know, I went to a bar one time in Greece. I wanted to go to a local bar to feel the local vibe. And, well, you know, you get to learn, like, how everything kind of works. We get there at, like, 10 o'clock. Place is empty. There's some people sitting around drinking in their tables and whatever. You know, I'm like, okay, all right. Nobody speaks English. We don't speak Greek at all, you know. And the way we got our drinks is we'd look at the bartender and go, and he'd go, and he just throw us a beer. Here you go, you know, or draft. I'd point to a draft. Okay, here you go, you know. As soon as like 10:30 or 11 showed up, somehow all the tables and chairs miraculously disappeared, and the place filled up with people. It was standing room only. Oh shit, get it, yeah. Standing room only of nothing but straight up beautiful Greek people. Men, women, black hair, olive skin. And nobody was talking. They were just standing there. No, you might see a drink go up every now and then. They would look at us. They wouldn't blink. They just looking at us. And then they would kind of turn their back and then talk about us to their friend. But everybody was staring at us. We were like, what the fuck is going on here? This is a weird vibe. And nobody would talk to us. We hey, how you doing? They would just look at us. And slowly turn away and walk away. The girls would be like, they'd give us some kind of emotion. They'd go, or something. and then they turn slowly and walk away. Everybody kept their eyes on us. So we finished our drink, and then the bartender stopped serving. I'm like, what the fuck? Why? Hey. I think we even owed money, and he would just look at us. He'd be like wiping the table. He'd go, and just carry on about his business. I'm like, what the fuck? Didn't know it was a thing. Yeah, Greece, huh? So I remember going to Africa, and we had some brothers with us. They're from Chicago, and they liked their own clique kind of thing. You know, they're all with their clique, and they hung out together and everything. And I remember going to Africa with them, and they made it a point to find an African and be like, hey brother, what's up? We are back. We are here in the motherland. This is great to be here in the motherland. Oh man, we're from America. We're from Chicago. Yeah, this is our home. This is our people. And I'll never forget it. The black guy, the African, was like, you are not my brother. You come to my country, I kill you. I mean, he was like, fuck you, I kill you. You move here, you leave, you move here, I kill you. You're not black. You're not black. You know, I mean, just, and these guys were like, whoa. It was a culture shock for our dark green Marines to face this in Africa. You know, because Africa was actually, they were having their own race war. The Mobutus and the Tutsis, different kinds of black people, and they hated each other because of what the apartheid did. It forced that whole different kind of people thing, and it divided Africa into certain sects and certain classes, certain castes. Guess what they did? They had a fucking civil war. They're still having civil wars. And then it's not tribal, it's a racial thing. It's like, oh well, this, you got a bigger nose, so you're this guy, you must be Mobutu. Oh okay, you're Tutsi, okay. And then, you know, the UNSCF was dropping food and everything, and all the warlords were just grabbing it and say, hey, you want to fight? If you want to get food, you gotta join my army. And you know, they had kids, you know, that they had kid armies. You know, I seen them. It was crazy. Every morning, we had two guys. We were facing a 1,000,000-man army. These coming out of the Congo. And every morning, we had a perimeter set up around the embassy. Every morning, these two kids would show up. One was a taller kid, and he had a pair of like green BDU fatigues and a rope for a belt. But he had, I think, he had an AK. He had a big automatic AK-74, I think it was, or 78, whatever. It was the big one. Yeah, he had that. He had the, you know, the bandolier of bullets across his chest, and he had no shirt on, just his pants. And I don't even know if he had shoes on. I couldn't tell. He was standing in grass. Then the other kid, which was very, very smaller, he was very small. I was thinking maybe 9 or 10, maybe but he had a fucking RPG. So yeah, we were just like, these guys are just, and they would come every morning, and they would stop at a certain distance away, and they go, but the smaller kid had an old dirty flannel shirt on, no pants, just nothing down there. That's all he wore, but he had RPG. So yeah, maybe it was the other way around. I think maybe he had the AK-74 and the bigger kid had the RPG. I don't know. I forget. But I do remember the kid with no pants, you know, and they would just come up there and then they'd walk away. So yeah, but it was the. And you see now they have the same thing over there. What's going on is they want this push towards socialism. China is involved in all the little personal politics going on over there, because they're buying land and they're building infrastructure and they're playing one side against the other, and you know, it's just like what they want to do over here, and they are, and we're allowing it to happen. So it's this whole racism bullshit is bullshit. It is. It really is. It is a reason and a means to divide and conquer. Never interrupt your enemy while he's destroying himself. That's what's happening to us. We are being destroyed from the inside. There's no unity. I mean, there's none. You know, everybody, all we have is the year of the muzzle. Yes, the year of the muzzle. Wear your muzzle. Shut your fucking mouth. Toe the party line. Get your vaccination. Stand 6 feet apart. Stay in your home. Quarantine. It's just... Wear 1 mask. Wear 2 masks. Wear 3 masks. And a shield. Something's killing us anyway. It doesn't fucking matter. I mean, that's how I look at it. Something's killing me anyway. So, I'm not wearing a damn mask. My beard is my mask. So, man, I've just been ranting and raving for what, 46 minutes now? Wow. So, how do we stop this? Well, we have to band together. We have to unify. We have to get in groups and group up. There's no more individualism. Okay? As like-minded individuals, we need to stick together and voice our opinions and take our own actions. You know? If you're going to the store and somebody yells at you to put on a mask, you're like, yeah. If 20 people are not doing it, there's nothing they can do. Even if they call the cops. Cops will be like, put your mask on. No. And if 20 people just surround him and go, okay. Eventually, you know, non-compliance becomes the norm. They just go, fuck it, man. You know, it's like that lonely traffic cop that's sitting on that busy highway, and everybody, and the speed limit is 50, but everybody's doing 100. Gonna pull them all over? You're gonna pick one person. You can only get one person. That's it. You know, strength in numbers, unity, unify, and that's what we're doing. That's how you fight the culture as well. We start our own. We have our own culture. We have our own culture. The culture of the United States of America is a republic. Okay? We are a republic. Long live the republic. Okay? We are free men and women. Let's act like it. So, I'm gonna end it here. This is Mad Shad. Until next time, take care.